Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard man. We're being poisoned by chemtrails that aircraft leave behind, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel is Hitler's secret daughter. Social media is full of conspiracy theories like these, and many videos supporting them figure prominently on the net. Why is that? And how does social media help to promote conspiracy theories? Our topic this time on Shift. Does this happen to you? The autoplay feature on YouTube plays a strange video, which seems to fit with what you've just seen. You don't know whether to be irritated or fascinated, but you keep on watching. Soon you find yourself sucked into a parallel universe of alternative beliefs. Videos on conspiracy theories seem to do quite well on YouTube, and for some viewers at least, its algorithm keeps recommending more and more of them. They can be disturbing, but it's hard to look away. So let's take a closer look at the world of conspiracy theorists.
Reptilians, the Illuminati, or aliens. Conspiracy theories often postulate that the world is controlled by a small group of strange elites that harm ordinary folks. But luckily, there's YouTube, where evildoers bent on world domination are unmasked. Here are our top 3 conspiracy theories. Number 1, the moon landing is a myth. July 20th will mark the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon. But many conspiracy theorists are firmly convinced that no astronaut ever laid a foot on the lunar surface. They claim that the US government staged the first moonwalk in a film studio as a show of American power and to prove NASA's capabilities. The alleged proof is there are no stars in the lunar sky, because the pics were shot in front of a black screen. And the flag looks to be flapping, though there's no breeze on the moon. Dubious evidence for this supposed hoax is everywhere on the internet. Number 2, the Earth is a disk. Or at least, that's what flat earthers believe. In the US, they often hold conferences to compare notes. Flat earthers think our world is a disk. Some even say there's an ice wall around its edge, which they claim is Antarctica. Their proof? Access to the Antarctic is restricted to certain people. How's that for logic? Number 3, chemtrails are poisoning us. Jets leave trails of condensation or contrails in their wake. But conspiracy theorists believe that these white line-shaped clouds are really chemicals which have been sprayed into the atmosphere to sedate people, or even worse, poison them. And who's behind it? They say it's a powerful and invisible elite.
3 examples of conspiracy theories that remain popular, even though they've been repeatedly and scientifically debunked. When it comes to communication, the internet offers both opportunities and risks. It allows us to exchange information quickly and easily. Everyone has a voice. But on many platforms, no one checks the validity of the content. That's called fact-checking. So the web is also full of misinformation. Online, even the craziest concepts find an audience. But why are videos that spread the crudest conspiracy theories so popular on YouTube? Is it because the platform's users are especially interested in them? And why do they keep on turning up in my feed? I certainly haven't been searching for them. French IT specialist Guillaume Chasselot used to help program YouTube's algorithm. Today, he's one of the platform's most vocal critics. He reveals why provocative content always ranks high on social media.
The algorithm is never going to try to find the best videos that demonstrate that the Earth is round in 5 minutes, because that will be a total failure from the point of view of the algorithm. There is no fair algorithm. I mean, it's a myth. An algorithm can't be fair. An algorithm is going to have one goal, and it's going to go for this goal. And right now, the goal is to make YouTube as big as possible.
Whether for YouTube or other social media, the algorithm is programmed to fascinate, not inform. The aim is to keep users on the site for as long as possible. The more polarizing the content, the more likely it is that users will stay glued to their screens.
For instance, Flat Earth conspiracy theory is judged extremely good by the algorithm, whereas like some very solid scientific explanation that's less of a clickbait that will be considered bad because it makes basically less money for YouTube or Facebook.
YouTube and other social media earn their money through advertising. And the more users view a site's content, the more companies can charge for ad space. Along with the view count and interaction rate, watch time is a decisive criterion which algorithms use to select content for users. With their polarizing content and often strange ideas, conspiracy theory videos generate lots of watch time.
Very crazy fake informations are really good because you're like, hey, is that true? You want to know. So you click and you try to look for a bit to see if it's true or not. And even if you click and you look for like 5 minutes and decide, oh no, this was completely bullshit, then the algorithm is still going to consider that as a success.
That's a fun fact. YouTube's algorithm isn't programmed to deliver valuable information. Its goal is to keep me on the site for as long as possible. Because YouTube isn't just a video platform, it's also an advertiser's dream. The more clips I look at, the more ads they can show me. So the algorithm's goal is to maximize watch time. It's programmed so that the next video will be even cooler and more exciting than the last. So of course I'll want to stay tuned. It's addictive, a bit like eating potato chips. Though at some point the bag of chips is empty, whereas with YouTube, there's always another video up next. People watch more than 4 million videos every minute, and every minute, more than 400 hours of content is uploaded onto the platform. No wonder fans of conspiracy theories can find plenty of proof to support their ideas. But you don't have to go hunting for these videos. They're also shown to users who seem like they might be open to them.
Social media can really read the minds of their users thanks to the masses of personal data available to them. So they also know which people are most susceptible to watching content involving conspiracy theories.
The algorithm is going to find the most vulnerable people and try to brainwash them with the conspiracy. It will be like they will see like hundreds of times the conspiracy. So after some time they start to believe like it has to be true because I got like 200 recommendations on the Flat Earth. Maybe it's true.
Psychologists say people who believe conspiracy theories are looking for simple answers about how the world works. They often believe it's controlled by an all-powerful force. And on the net, no one's making sure they're not being fed deliberate disinformation.
We've seen that conspiracy theories are on the rise in many countries. Anti-vaccine conspiracies, like people take less vaccines now. People are dying from lack of vaccination in Europe. So we see that this has very serious issues.
And it's a serious issue with real-life consequences. For example, measles is on the rise in many places because many people are refusing to vaccinate. And measles is a very contagious disease and can cause disability or even death. Anti-vaxxers believe that vaccines pose a health risk. They find lots of reinforcement for their beliefs on YouTube, thanks to its algorithm. A recent study found that anti-vax theories disseminated by fewer than 20 YouTube channels reached more than 170 million people in the past decade. YouTube's algorithm promotes the dissemination of controversial videos. Extreme content delivers watch time, and that brings revenue. Google's parent company, Alphabet, doesn't publicize how much money YouTube makes, but analysts estimate it raked in some 13 billion euros in 2018. That's a lot of cash. But wasn't Google's old motto, "Don't be evil"? So if the company wanted to stop the spread of conspiracy theories, could it? Can you program algorithms to push informative content instead? Guillaume Cheslot believes it can be done.
You could totally have algorithms that are optimized towards facts. So as soon as there will be a public awareness thinking like, hey, we can't continue with algorithm recommending false statements like that because it's going to be a disaster for society in the long run. As soon as this happens, as soon as people are willing to use alternatives and are willing to pay for alternatives, then you can technically you can easily build these systems.
The platform operators are more interested in providing clickbait than providing factual information. Scientific facts often aren't as entertaining. But conspiracy theories attract attention and get plenty of views, in spite of the often terrible events they show, like the 9/11 terrorist attacks. To this day, some people still believe that the US government was behind the attacks on the World Trade Center. They claim the Twin Towers weren't brought down by hijacked planes, but were blown up instead. YouTube refuses to delete such controversial videos, even though they contain patently false information. Instead, the platform operators plan to display text from Wikipedia articles alongside them. Guillaume Chasselot doesn't believe this approach will do much to help.
On one side, you have very engaging, very exciting video content that's going to convince you of something. On the other side, you have like this boring Wikipedia article that you don't know who wrote it. So I think it's going to be less efficient.
Never mind the fact that Wikipedia isn't always the most reliable source of information. The social media algorithms filter what we see and what we don't. So we have to be aware that algorithms aren't neutral. They're a means to an end. And for YouTube, that end is to make money. That's what most companies want. But they also have a duty to their users and should play by the rules. We also need to think about how to combat misinformation and hate content effectively. And personally, I'd like companies to be more transparent about how their algorithms work. As users, we must understand that not everything on the net can be taken as the gospel truth. Should we put pressure on owners to take responsibility for the content on their platforms? Do we need to regulate the programming of algorithms? Join the discussion on dw.com, on Facebook, and on our YouTube channel. There, you'll also find a detailed explainer about how YouTube's algorithm works. Bye, and till next time.